Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining us again for another video. Today, I'm showing my lovely fiancée Jen, X-Men Days of Future Past. We are doing the Rogue Cut. The reason we're doing the Rogue Cut is because we had a few people suggesting it or requesting it, so I decided to do a poll on YouTube, and with like 26,000 votes, it was like 72% voted for the Rogue Cut, which I have actually not seen. So the only real difference that I know of, there are a few things. I did look at like a breakdown of what the differences were, but the main one being that Rogue is actually like in this movie and has kind of her own little side plot going on. That was cut almost entirely from the theatrical, well, that was cut entirely from the theatrical run. So we're gonna go ahead and do the Rogue Cut. I haven't actually seen it, so I'm actually excited to watch it with you as well. We're in kind of like the newer, we've talked a little bit about the timelines being getting kind of wonky. It's only gonna happen even more so now. After watching First Class and after watching the original trilogy, how are you feeling going into this one?
So even though the last one was not my favorite, I'm always excited to watch the X-Men movies, just because in general, I like the idea of X-Men. I feel like it's a really interesting plot, and I just like the characters. You mentioned that Rogue's not in this one, but she is. Like the original theatrical did not involve her.
Right, there was like one brief scene at the end where she just kind of makes a cameo appearance.
Okay. And
this one, I guess she's actually in it.
Okay, I don't have any reference for this movie as far as like what point in time it is, what characters are in it. So I'm really going into this one blind. When we first started X-Men, I mean, the only reference I had was for like the first three, but I don't know anything about this one. So I'm really curious. I hope it's better than the last one, but even still, the last one was not like absolutely horrible. I thought it was, you know, it was so-so as far as like the other X-Men movies. It was a little bit lower on the totem pole for me. I'm really hoping that this one is gonna be good. I have high hopes for it. I see the title card and Wolverine's.
Title card.
And I love Wolverine, so as long as he's in it, I'm sure it's gonna be, you know, it has to be good. How many movies of X-Men are there total? Oh gosh, he has to think about it.
Well, there's three originals. First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, maybe seven? I might be forgetting one. 7 or 8.
So we're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay, really curious about like how they end the X-Men movies, how they wrap that up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in the back of my mind, but I'm really excited about this. I hope it's gonna be good. It's also gonna be interesting to see the cut that I guess Holden hasn't seen, so it'll be a little bit of a surprise for him as well. So hopefully it'll be good.
And of course, we must do the comment of the day. The last couple of videos, Jen and I actually forgot, so you'll not only get 1, you'll get 3 in this video for us to try and catch up. So let's take a look. These are all comments from the X-Men First Class video. Christoph says, fun fact, the coin in the beginning is made of silver, so Magneto can't use his powers to move it. The coin in the end is a different one. So I'd love to know some of your thoughts on this. It's my understanding that Magneto can move all metal regardless of magnetism. I get that his name is Magneto and he can control, you know, magnetism as well. But I've heard different things from different comic book fans and movie fans as to what his power actually is. Can Magneto only move metal that can be magnetized, or is it all metal? I've always been under the assumption that it's all metal regardless of magnetism. So I'd love to know your thoughts. James Datwork says, so aren't you skipping the 2 Wolverine movies? No, we're not. We actually already watched them. Jen actually watched them in the My Friend Watches series. We did X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, and we did Logan. So if you'd like to watch Jen react to that, make sure you go back to some of those older videos. And the last one is from Kyle. A lot of the ideas that were going to be used in the Magneto origin film, they rolled over into this film, meaning First Class. For example, Magneto hunting Nazis was going to be the main focus of his solo film. Magneto is the start of this film and steals every scene he is in. I agree. I think Magneto was one of the absolute highlights of First Class. But those are our comments of the day. Thank you guys so much. If you would like your comment featured in a comment of the day, leave a comment down below. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. We'd really appreciate it, and I hope you do that. But let's go ahead and get into this one. X-Men Days of Future Past, the Rogue Cut. A little trumpet fanfare sounded like The Incredibles for a second.
I didn't realize we were watching The Matrix.
It's more like Terminator.
Terminator, we have to watch that.
We do.
Fighting an enemy we cannot defeat. Is the future truly set?
Oh yeah.
Did these later X-Men movies make money?
The very last one that came out was, I think, like the worst performance of all the X-Men movies.
And there's no planned additional movies for X-Men?
They're thinking that they're going to move them to the MCU somehow.
Ooh.
That's our current fan theories.
I feel like that's just the answer to everything. Move it to the MCU.
Well, Disney bought Fox, 20th Century Fox, so they now have the rights to them, which they didn't before. That's why they could never do any crossovers.
Oh, I like his eye makeup.
Sentinels! That's what.
Let's go.
Oh. Okay, so I recognize her.
Yep, it's Kitty. That's Colossus, I think. Yep.
Ooh, nice.
It's cool. It's like Portal.
Oh, he kind of reminds me of Ultron.
Yeah.
A little bit.
This would have actually come out around the same time.
Iceman.
Yep.
So he just turns to metal? Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's supposed to be like pretty indestructible. Ooh.
Oh no. The face really reminds me of Ultron.
You didn't really
The
react
shape.
to him crushing Bobby's head.
I don't really care. I'm waiting for Wolverine.
That's cool. That's a cool shot.
That is really cool.
Oh man.
So few of us left.
I found them.
What?
Well, you remember he transferred his consciousness into that other body, right?
Yeah.
Some people would say that it's his twin brother to explain why he looks the same.
I didn't even realize he had a twin brother.
Well, they'd never mention it in the films.
Oh, that's
They-
convenient.
Yeah, so I honestly think that's just part of the soft reboot.
Oh.
Yeah. See, so they have some of the original cast here, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there's Wolverine.
it's nice seeing the OG guys.
Oh, I like his little seat.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's right.
What?
Hey, kid.
I send Bishop back to warn us of the attack before it happens. And we leave before they ever know we were there.
So she sends Bishop back in time.
They'll adjust his consciousness into his younger self.
That's cool. It's a super cool concept.
He was one of the world's leading weapons designers, but
I love him.
using their gifts to fuel his own research. After the Vietnam War, she found Trask and killed him. Persuaded the government of the need for his program. In her DNA, they discovered the secrets, the key they needed to create weapons that could adapt to any mutant
Oh, wow.
power. But it all started that day in 1973.
And end this war before it ever begins.
No one could survive that trip.
What if someone's mind has a way of snapping back?
It's a risk.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
Not just for you. Some of us may never be born.
That's probably the most
We have
likely.
no idea things may change.
You're asking us to sacrifice our lives for a future we might not even be a part of.
Yes.
So they're just running around trying to escape from these
Sentinels.
and sending this guy back to warn them of the spot where the machines are going to be.
Like where they were attacked. So like in that the opening sequence, they were like being attacked. So she sent Bishop back.
So they never would have been
Gone
there.
there, right.
Okay. Well, I like his new little getup.
Yeah, I think the suits and outfits look like the best in
Yeah.
this movie. It's like a perfect blend of the original movie and sort of the campy suits of First Class.
I was a very different man then. You'll have to be patient with me.
You'll need me as well.
What?
Side by side at a time when we couldn't be further apart.
I really like
Where
Magneto.
do I find you?
Me too.
Oh, so these two hooked up.
I guess I'll see you in the next life.
Whatever you've done will take hold and become history. And for the rest of us, it'll be the only history that we know.
Was this always her power? I thought she walked through walls or whatever.
No, they didn't. She didn't have these powers in The Last Stand.
All right, Logan.
Guess they
I need you
developed
to clear
later.
your
They never
head
explain
and
it.
to stay as calm as possible.
What?
This is our last chance.
Our Last
I
Stand.
really think this will work.
We need to bring lava lamps back. They're still pretty cool. It's another night for old Wolvie.
Whoa.
It's a waterbed.
Those veins are popping out of his body.
Yeah, he looks like physically the best, I think, in this one too.
Okay.
Oh, we got some Logan butt.
I wonder how many calories he ate a day.
supposed to be guarding the boss's daughter, not screwing her.
Oh,
I didn't. That was the old me. I just got here like 20 seconds ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, goody, I can't wait to see this.
his bone claws.
I mean, they'll still do some damage.
Yeah, they'll get the job done. Yeah.
We can't support a weapon that targets our own citizens.
Homo sapiens was followed by the immediate extinction of their less evolved kin. This time the war will be for our streets, our cities, our homes.
Your Sentinel program, it ain't gonna fly.
Where is it going? Same place they are. Trask Industries.
Private outfit. We're authorized to remand these men.
These troops are going home.
Well, Colonel, I don't believe you have jurisdiction in this matter.
I like it.
Did you see the name on his dog tag?
No.
Striker.
Oh, really?
She looks better in this one.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Toad, you remember him?
Yeah.
Toad has a wicked tongue, Senator. She was like bluer.
I had that.
I know.
Apparently people were saying Havoc is not Cyclops' father, but his brother. They get a landscape or something.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a parent? Sure so hope not. Look at you. I guess you're a late bloomer.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
You're pretty strong for a scrawny kid. Come on. Sure there's not a little beast in there? Come on. You and I are gonna be good friends.
Professor? What's going on here?
He looks better too.
You can walk.
All right, so this is way before the last movie.
No, this is after.
He got injured, and I thought that's...
They explain it.
If you had your powers, you'd know I was telling the truth.
How do you know I don't have my...
See, so they're mixing the timelines and stuff, but the event of Cuba still happened here. But in the original X-Men movies, Charles and Eric were like old, and Charles was still like walking and stuff.
Professor I know would never turn his back on someone who lost their path, especially someone he loved.
I'm gonna say to you what you said to us then. Oh.
Listen to me, you lost.
I told you there was no professor here.
Aw.
Professor was an ass.
He retreated into himself. I wanted to help do something, so...
What the
Really tough time.
He's an addict?
It's a Serum Hank created.
Oh, gotcha. Thought I was shooting heroin.
It suppresses his powers, but it also helps him walk, so.
Whew, that threw me off.
You and Eric sent me back here together.
The room they're holding him in was built during the Second World War when there was a shortage of steel.
Why is he in there?
JFK.
He killed...
What else explains a bullet miraculously curving through the air?
I like that. That's.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's great.
I know a guy. Yeah, he'd be a young man now.
What's in her then?
We have a phone book.
Just came to grab a couple files. Is that a new scarf? It's nice.
What a pimp.
I really love Peter Dinklage. But of course it's Mystique. Though.
Yeah.
I really hope Peter Dinklage kept that painting of him.
I think out of all the mutants, I would want to be her.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who I'd want to be. Well, maybe
Yeah,
Charles.
I think Professor has some, pretty
well,
good.
Professor can control people, which is pretty neat. If he was like a bad guy, left unhinged, he could cause some sure damage.
I feel like that would be a really good storyline for an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
The Professor goes bad.
All the ones from the first one. Maximoff. But remember, they couldn't mix the universes at the time.
So they subtly planted a seed?
Well, you remember Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, brother, sister?
Yeah. Oh my god.
So this happened at the same time that like
I'm a princess.
Age of Ultron was going on.
Oh my god.
Go upstairs and bug your sister.
Well, she says bug your sister. The other sister is Wanda.
I didn't do anything. I've been here all day.
Do you remember in WandaVision how he showed up in that?
Yeah.
That was why this was such a big deal, because he showed up in a MCU property.
Yeah. Wait, did we see Like Wolverine is saying that he like knew him.
Yeah, we haven't seen that.
Okay.
Prison break? That's illegal, you know.
If you get caught.
Twinkies and ding dongs.
It's cool. It's disgusting.
Kind of looks like Johnny Depp
Yeah,
there.
we're getting broadcast signal down here. What's...
Oh, that would be the life, wouldn't it? People just dropping food down at you every day. It's really cool.
A great shot.
In 3 seconds, those doors are going to open. And 20 guards will be here to shoot us.
Whiplash.
Why'd they have you in there?
For killing the president.
Special Operations CBFECID. Look.
Nice. Glad I've
Yeah,
got
how awkward for the guy in the corner.
it. Said you can move metal. My mom knew a guy who could do that.
Oh my gosh.
Good to see you too, old friend.
We will shoot.
Freeze him, Charles. I can't.
Hands up.
Eternity passing them with you.
Oh my goodness. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's one of the best scenes in the whole franchise. You know how fast that song would have to play for that to, it would just be like, yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Imagine if they were metal.
How awkward.
I know.
How did you lose them?
The treatment for my spine affects my DNA.
I feel like that's a pretty good explanation though. I like it.
Dry your eyes, Eric.
You abandoned me! You took her away and you abandoned me! Where were you, Charles? We were supposed to protect them!
Just buff out those scratches.
So you were always an asshole. Want to pick all that shit up?
You don't think I look pretty like this?
It's much more Mystique-esque.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't kill the president.
The bullet curved, Eric.
Because I was trying to save him.
Why would you try and save him?
Because he was one of us.
Dum 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 dum.
Oh my god, I love that. JFK was a mutant! I wonder what his power was.
So foolish. I could see why she meant so much to you.
Named after the ancient guardians that stood at the gates of the Citadel. The ability to target the mutant X gene. There will be no human collateral damage. There's a mutant.
Oh crap.
There has to be some kind of mistake.
No, don't shoot it.
Don't shoot it, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I love when they run towards people with guns. It's my favorite thing in movies.
Raven! Raven!
Well, get out of there.
Yeah, we should probably go, guys.
What are you doing? Securing our future.
Use your power, Charles. Stop him.
He can't.
I love that. He still, like, does it.
Oh, wow.
So, push. And then it goes down. Ooh.
I should be okay.
He's slipping. He's slipping back. I'm losing him.
Yeah, seeing Stryker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
What the hell is that?
I love the cuts in between. It seems like it's actual footage.
Yeah, like somebody was taken in the 70s.
Charles Xavier, you spent the last couple of days with us. You're on acid.
Oh my gosh.
Doc Ock. He's still getting electrocuted. That's so cool.
Oh gosh.
I saw someone who's gonna bring me a lot of pain someday.
Boston, it's okay.
If we do manage to capture them, I would like her
For research purposes, of course.
I don't care who you screw, as long as it's not me.
I missed you.
You tried to kill me.
Humans use your blood, your genes, to create a weapon that wipes us all out. Your blood was on the street.
Whose fault was that?
My bad.
They're creating a weapon. Killing one man isn't enough.
It never was for you.
Hey, we can't find Raven. Not without your powers. I need more.
That's all they were able to scrape off the pavement in Paris.
At least it's still clean down there.
Welcome, Professor.
I want a door like that.
Welcome, Holden.
You would just screw with it anyway. Like, welcome, numbnuts. Jen.
This whole thing has been one bloody mistake.
I don't know how to do that for you. You're right, I don't. But I know someone who might.
You don't want me inside your head.
There's no damage you can do that hasn't already been done, trust me.
I love you.
Love you.
You poor man.
Charles,
Humanity does this to us.
not if we show them a better path. Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, doesn't mean they're lost forever. It's not their pain you're afraid of. It's yours, Charles. The greatest gift we have, to bear their pain without breaking. Charles, we need you to hope again.
Find what you were looking for.
Oh my goodness.
He's so freaking powerful.
Yeah.
Little girl.
He added metal in it to control it?
I'm guessing so, yeah.
If we wake Logan now, we may set our fate on an even darker course. No one has Kitty's power.
Someone that could take her power. She took yours once.
Rogue. I'm sorry about it.
Keeping her in the one place your mind can't reach from the outside. She's in your house, Professor. They're experimenting on her.
I haven't seen any of this.
I'm gonna bring back somebody to help you.
Suspicious women always wear that hat in airports.
Stop. Back at the house.
Where you should be.
Kill Trask, you'll be creating countless more just like him.
I wish I was an extra in this scene.
The girl I grew up with wasn't capable of killing.
It will set you on a path from which there is no return.
I'm like, well, what's the point of Magneto's helmet?
You know those things can
They can just
cancer.
not let you in.
Do I make it? No.
Raven. Oh my God. I've got to wake Charles.
No, don't. Just.
I want a few minutes with the Beast first.
Holden Thomas Hardman.
Someone had to take care of Charles.
Too bad you couldn't take
And this
care
is
of
who
me.
it was.
I take a shot in the morning, and I need another if I get worked up.
Worked out.
I don't even have to do anything.
Mystique is a little temptress.
Well, they've always had a little thing. Oh, he's grabbing that butt. Oh, yeah, let's get this blue on. I don't remember this. This might have been cut from the theatrical.
Do you remember one of the last things you said to me? That I would never be deemed beautiful looking like this.
I was wrong.
Just rejected her.
Do you remember the last thing I said to you?
What about you wanted to clap cheeks? No, the other thing, Hank. Okay, that's the last one. I'm done now. It's a cool transition. Yeah, so I guess this is all new.
You're walking directly over the hall now.
I like that he's with Bobby. This is great. I love this interlacing of the cuts, though. I think before it was just this scene.
Let me show you how it feels.
Oh, wow.
Rogue, come on, wake up. He's with me. We're gonna get you out of here.
Get out of there, now!
Oh, crap.
Jeez. Not good.
Take her!
Wow. I don't remember that Bobby dying. People in the road cut. Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Do a barrel roll.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Meanwhile, the Legion of Boom. Still need some handrails on here, guys. Like, you know we have a spare in the back room, right?
Where's Bobby?
Hello, Logan. Rogue. For all we know, they already have her DNA. She's all they'd need
To create the Sentinels of the future.
What if the war is inevitable? What if she's meant to kill Trask?
Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, doesn't mean they're lost forever.
Oh. Rogue must have gotten stronger too for her to be able to retain the power that long.
Logan? Please, this way, sir.
What happened to you? Friendly fire.
Can I help you?
Oh my gosh.
Really powerful.
I didn't tell you to activate them. I didn't.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, jeez. I'm gonna spit that metal on all of them. Oh, wow.
What the hell happened up there?
I will fix it.
Wow.
Oh no. Oh,
Ruthless. Johnny Storm over here. Oh, nice.
Do what you were made for.
Hey, what happened to never attack our kind? You never kill our kind. Hey.
Oh. Ah. Oh.
One of them is in here.
No, 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 no!
That's awesome.
You built these weapons to destroy us because you are afraid of our gifts. We are different.
Oh, man.
Oh my
But I'm here
gosh.
to tell you, to tell the world, we are the ones who will inherit this earth. Let this be a warning to the world.
All those years wasted fighting each other, Charles. To have a precious few of them back.
The future of our species begins now.
Oof.
Ooh, wow. Interesting.
You used to be a better shot.
Trust me, I still am.
Get out of my head, Charles!
I have faith in you, Raven.
He's still hanging in there.
I don't think that everything would be all good.
It wouldn't be, but at least it's not clear cut. Mutants are evil.
Goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye, Eric.
She look a little weird there. Is that just me?
Yeah. I think I prefer Rebecca as...
I do like Rebecca Romaine a little bit more.
There's going to be a time, Hank.
At least she does look better in this
We're all
movie than the
together.
last one. Oh shoot, Logan. His hair looks really good in this movie too. Oh, Bobby and Rogue.
His ideas were very similar to those of
Morning, Logan. Late start.
Storm.
Hey, Logan.
Oh, wow.
Where else would I be?
Whoa. Easy, pal.
I like it.
Some things never change. Good to see you, Scott.
Is everything all right?
You did it.
Did what? What's the last thing you remember?
Drowning.
A world of endless possibilities. Countless choices define our fate.
What do you want us to do with the Major Striker?
Enough ripples.
I'll take him from here.
But that was Mystique.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. It would make more sense if that really was Stryker.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like I'm crapping on this movie. I'm really not. This is probably my second favorite X-Men movie. But there's definite like continuity issues.
In the beginning, it wasn't that difficult, but once the movie started progressing, I had a hard time like, okay, so this didn't happen in the past film. None of it happened.
So now X1 through 3 didn't happen anymore because they rewrote the timeline. The problem is that they did show footage from like the original X-Men trilogy, X3 included. They never brought up how Magneto got his powers back in that case. They also never brought up how Professor X was back. I get that he was put back into the other guy's body. It wasn't addressed whether that was his twin, at least in the movies. You know, I get that people are saying it was really his twin brother or whatever, I guess, but they never address it. There's also some scenes in the original X-Men trilogy and in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which happened right before this, where Professor X is Patrick Stewart and he's walking, and there are some times Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen where they're together and Professor X is walking, so it implies that he didn't become wheelchair bound until much later in his life.
I couldn't understand like how just because that event in the past went differently, that completely eliminated the event where Jean killed Professor X. You know how like the theory that you can change certain things, but it doesn't change every single event.
Oh, wait, what's this? I didn't realize there was a mid-credit scene. Yeah, from their own logic, they said you could change like these little things, you know, and then the river corrects itself, but then wouldn't that mean
and that's something I've heard, you know, outside of this movie.
Yeah.
So that was my confusion. Like, I mean, I guess they like implied that without making that clear.
Well, Professor X even was like, I disagree with your theory, you know. So maybe that they were just spouting off theories there.
But I mean, I really actually like this movie, and I don't know if that's like the minority.
You said you did or did not?
I did. Like,
I
really liked it.
a
I
lot.
definitely liked it than the previous movie. Ironically, I like the idea of going back to the past to change the future.
Yeah.
I really think that that's like, you can do so much with that type of material.
I agree.
I think the only negative for me was it was just, I had a hard time like understanding what changing that event actually changed for the future. Like it showed up, but I didn't understand with relation to the time period, whether that was before. Like seeing Jean and Professor X, I was like, oh, maybe that's before Jean killed Professor X.
No, it would have been the future still, just the future without the Sentinels.
Yeah.
So, because you knew that because Bobby still had his beard and he was with Rogue, and Wolverine had the little gray in his hair, which he's only had in the like farther future. So he somehow, in some other timeline that we've never seen or probably never will see, Logan came to the school some other way and some other events
Rogue
happened.
had the white.
Correct. So why would she have that? That's just that would just be a continuity.
But
thing.
so these are the reasons why like I'm having a hard time like piecing together all these different events and what they mean and what did or didn't happen.
I mean, it's possible, you know, X1 happened in a similar way, you know. X2 must have happened in some way because Wolverine still would have been taken in by Stryker, which, by the way, Stryker at the end being like, I'll take him, but it being Mystique, it would have made more sense if that really was Stryker and that would have been his opportunity to take Wolverine and do his experiments and whatnot. The timeline should have matched up there pretty well too.
Well, maybe that's not, I mean,
yeah.
In relation to when Stryker took him. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
that just wasn't the moment, which is kind of stupid.
I think there's a mixture of like, I think it's mostly continuity error things, and then we're trying to justify it by saying the timeline is different. Because there are continuity issues between the X-Men trilogy and then these couple of movies.
I also think that the way that they did it, they aimed for people like you that are able to pick up on those little things, but for someone like me that, you know, seeing these for the first time and not being very like seasoned with the comics or whatnot, or just the characters in general, or the style of these movies, I feel like I don't pick up on it. Like, I didn't know seeing Jean and Professor that meant that she never ended up killing him.
So she must have never become Dark Phoenix, as far as we know. So, you know, that could have been something fun to explore, that's still inside her mind, you know, and how, I don't know. But yeah, Rogue having the white, so Magneto, that something in X1 must have happened.
But that's what I'm saying, like, I saw Rogue's hair, but then I saw Jean and Professor, and that just I didn't understand, like, how one thing could have happened, but they didn't specifically specify what part happened and what didn't.
Yeah.
So that was a little confusing for me, but I think that's the only thing that I didn't like.
As well as, like, the cure. Regardless of whether X3 happened the way it happened in the movie, did the cure ever get made? Like, and why, and if not, why not? So is that something that they dealt with before, you know? I don't know. We're never gonna know for sure.
It's a catch-22 because I also like the fact that some of this stuff is kind of up in the air. You know what I mean? Because it's open to interpretation, which is a good and a bad thing. But that was really the only thing that stood out to me that I didn't like. Mystique was better in this one. And it seemed like pretty much the entire movie revolved around her in some form, which was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, like stopping her anyway.
Yeah, another thing I didn't like was, I understand that they didn't want her to kill Trask for like the symbolism of that, but I'm kind of like, if this was like real world, I feel like mutants would still be the enemy based off of Magneto alone.
Correct, yeah. It's,
and I felt like they blew up, like, you can't kill Trask. Like, that was a huge, huge thing. But I'm like, Magneto's already done the damage, like, and this is a man that would.
Post-credit scene real quick, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right, I forgot about this.
What?
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Anyway.
I don't mind them like leaning into, hey, we don't want her to kill him because that's not who she is. But they didn't want her to kill him because then that would tell the world that they absolutely should fear mutants. I was kind of like, if it was real world, mutants would absolutely already be the enemy based off of, I mean, he lifted up a freaking stadium and went after the president. Like, I mean, I feel like mutants would have already been the enemy.
Well, I feel like there are some real world examples, I guess. Like when 9/11 happened, Muslims are the enemy. You know, we must, like, you had this whole insurrection of like evangelical Christians that were just like, we don't want them in our country, Muslims are bad. And then you have a case a few years ago where there were Christians being targeted in some other country, and Muslims surrounded them to protect them from people that were trying to kill these Christians. This is a real world case, by the way. So I think there's very similar, like, if she had killed Trask, that would have been like their...
This is an extreme example, and I don't know. I feel like mutants, the fact that they were already extremely, they were building a program to exterminate them, you know? So I just was bothered that they were making, not a big deal, but that was like the focus, you know what I mean? And I wish it hadn't been like, it's gonna make mutants the enemy. I wish it would have just been, that's not who she is, you know?
I see what you're saying. It should have been more personal as opposed to, it kind of was, I feel like, and so it was maybe a little bit of both.
I mean, I don't know, the gist that I got was that...
I see what you're saying, though. Instead of it being like, I don't want to do this because we're all going to look bad, as opposed to her personal growth and being like, this isn't who I truly am, I'm not a killer or whatever.
Yeah.
I get that.
And I feel like we're focusing on the negative.
Yeah, we are, because this is a good movie.
Because I actually really, really liked this movie in the way that it was done. I felt that it was really unique. I like the idea that, you know, the actual event in the future, or the moment in time, is just like a day, you know, where they're taking like a couple hours to do this mind travel or travel back to a different time to change the major events regarding mutants to change the future to save their butts.
Yeah.
I really, really like that. I feel like that's
Yeah.
really unique. It was good to see Rogue show up. And I know that she wasn't really in the theatrical.
The only part she was in the theatrical was that end scene where Logan comes back and she's like holding hands with Bobby. That's the only time she was in it.
Honestly, after watching this, I cannot imagine seeing it without her.
I thoroughly enjoyed this cut more. I loved the interlacing between Magneto in the past and the Magneto of the future, like both doing their separate missions. I believe in the theatrical, it was just him going in and getting the helmet.
And I love the irony of like in the future, Magneto and Charles are working together to stop Magneto, like himself, from doing harm to make mutants the enemy. Like, I think that is so symbolic.
Yeah, I think that was great. I'm not sure why they cut that. I know some people were like, it didn't really need to be needed, and in the theatrical cut, obviously it wasn't. Kitty was just the one that did it the whole time. But I really liked her being in it the way that she was.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think that it would have been as impactful if she was not in it. I mean, that was, to me, it was important, but...
And I think Bobby lived. I think he died at that final scene where Sentinels were killing all the mutants again at the very, very end.
I swear,
Brutally.
I saw him when the Sentinel climbed up on the plane. I swear I saw Bobby, and he, like, was touching him, the Sentinel, and froze him, and then they flew off, and you heard him.
Maybe. I could have just missed it.
I could have been delirious, but I swear I saw him. So if any of you guys could clear that up.
Yeah, I thought the Sentinel was just using Bobby's power, but...
I know, but I thought I saw his suit.
His little head poke around.
No, I thought I saw his black and his like little yellow striped suit.
Yeah, I might have just missed it.
I really liked all the characters in this movie. I thought it was great. And per usual, the actors that play the younger Charles and Magneto.
James McAvoy.
Every time they come on screen, I'm just like in awe of them, especially the actor that plays Magneto.
Michael Fassbender. Yep.
He is so, I'm just like blown away with how well he plays that character.
He has, in the next movie, he has one scene that is fantastic where he's just like, just acting his heart out.
And there was two scenes that I really, really liked in this film. One was when they're in like a kitchen. Yeah, Quicksilver, and slows it down, and he's just going around like flicking things, making the security guard punch himself. That was a really amazing scene. And then the other one was when they're on the airplane and Magneto is like basically going off on Charles, being like, you forgot about them, you know? And I love that because it shows that Magneto, he cares, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not like some heartless villain like we've encountered with some of these other movies.
Yeah, this movie also showed that Professor X isn't perfect either, especially in his younger
absolutely
self, you know?
Like, and I enjoy that because up until now I feel like Professor X to me was somebody that always knew what to do, that you could rely on in any situation, and he's gonna get us out. Of course, that's not, I mean, the situation where he died, he kind of screwed up.
Well,
but,
I mean, he definitely became like wise, you know, and trustworthy and kind of, you know.
But it was nice to see that side of him, you know, that we all have, where he struggled. He went through an emotional, dark period.
Yeah.
I really, really liked seeing that side of that character. I think it's important now because kind of looking back at the previous movies, I have more appreciation for his character.
Yeah.
But I really loved that moment because I kind of felt like Magneto's kind of right. You know what I mean? In that moment, he was like, you know, you forgot about them. They're dead now. So I just really, really like that moment. I think I'm a bigger fan of Magneto now than I have been throughout this movie series, just because he has like so many different layers to the character. You know what I mean? He's not like one-dimensional. He's quickly becoming like my top favorite, I guess, mutant. But I really, really like him. I don't know as far as like reception, how this movie did, but I thought it was really, really well done. It was a tad long, but I don't know if that's just because it was the Rogue cut.
I think it was about 17 minutes longer than the theatrical. So.
Okay. Still think that I prefer Rebecca, and I don't know what it is because I feel like in this one, she was a lot more...
Mystique-ish?
Well, I guess, but more mature. So I know a lot of people thought, well, it's just because she's younger and blah, 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 blah. But I don't think that's it, because she was more mature in this one. I think the way that she carries herself, I don't think that Jennifer Lawrence is the right fit, or maybe it's because I've already seen Rebecca Romijn as that character and she did it so well that it's weird to see someone else. But I think, you know, the two characters that played Magneto and Charles, you know, they were two different characters than we're used to seeing, and
they're great.
I think that they did amazing. So I don't know what it is, but she did do better in this one. I liked her better than the previous movie, but still a Rebecca fan overall. And you know what I noticed? Rebecca playing Mystique, she was a lot quieter.
Yeah.
You know, she was very...
internal.
Exactly. Like with her, it was like facial expressions. You could read how she was feeling.
Yeah.
With Jennifer playing her, it was the total opposite. She talked a lot. But I still like Mystique as a character. She's still one of my favorites. It was really, really great. I also like getting a peek of what it would be like if they didn't have that happy ending. You know, towards the end, we saw pretty much all the characters being just brutally killed. I don't know what her name is, but the girl...
The portal girl?
Yeah, the portal girl. I'm sure that she has a name, but...
I think it's Blink.
Hers was so bad because like they were literally like putting her head into the flame or the fire.
They all got killed pretty rough.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
and
Colossus got ripped in half.
Storm was just like gutted and thrown over. It was really shocking. And you know, those are like beloved characters, but I like that they added that in there because it's kind of a tease of like, all right, we're gonna give you, you know, that happy ending that you want, but this is what we could have done.
Yeah.
And I really, really like that. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie too. I know we started off talking about a lot of the negatives, but I think this has some of the best sequences of all the X-Men movies. I think like we're not for continuity issues of like through the original X-Men trilogy. I think this one would probably be the best, but I can't help but be like, that doesn't make sense if it's in the same chronological order. But
well, I'm okay with it not making sense, but I wish like it was easier to understand or discern between this happened, this did not.
Yeah.
For me, that was the hardest part, just not knowing, because you know, with the Rogue situation, I was like, okay, so did that not happen or did that happen?
Yeah, I get that. Well,
I think that was the biggest issue.
What would you rate this one?
I think I'm gonna do an 8.
Yeah, I think this is my second favorite X-Men movie, probably next to X2. Well, maybe Logan if we want to count that as well, but this is up there for me. It's one of my favorites. I'd probably rate this one 8.5. I feel like there was a lot of no holding back, like especially with like the deaths. I thought that I loved the time travel stuff. I'm always a sucker for cool time travel things. The sequences were some of the best. The relationship between Charles and Eric was expounded upon, and like the scene that you mentioned in the airplane, I thought just helped with that. I thought it was fantastic. So 8.5 for me. I'm
gonna go with an 8. I really, really liked it. And a big part of that, you know, the relationship between Charles and Eric, they pull it off so well that it just like, it carries a large part of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that the movie with the time travel was just a fantastic idea. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think like Eric and Charles working together in the future, but in the past, they are at odds.
Yeah.
So fascinating to think about. With Storm, like we didn't see much of her. With Rogue, we saw a little bit, but I didn't mind that in this movie. I recognize that it was really focusing on Charles and Eric and kind of these familiar but not familiar characters because they're being played by other people.
Yeah.
I think that they just did it really, really well, and I would definitely watch it again.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the Rogue cut is better than the theatrical cut. I think it adds some good stuff to it.
The Sentinels heavily reminded me of Ultron.
Yeah.
A lot. I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, they looked a lot like him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny. And the little Easter eggs too, like the mailbox.
The Maximoff.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So we might have seen Wanda in like the Fox universe. She would have been a mutant too. But
Yeah.
the mom was like, go play with your sister. So the sister could have been Wanda for all we know. But very cool. And then of course WandaVision merged that Quicksilver into the MCU, which is really cool. But that's it for now. I know there's a lot that we talked about this movie, some stuff we probably didn't get to, so leave a comment down below. We'll see if we can reply to some of that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. It does help the channel out a lot. Subscribe so you'll be notified next time we post the next video. If you'd like to see some of these videos early, you can check out Patreon. And it helps out the channel, so we would really appreciate it if you'd at least check it out. But as always, Jen and I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you in X-Men Apocalypse this Wednesday. All right, everyone, take care.